You're watching F5. We are at Black Hat USA 2023 in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. I'm with Steve Salinas. He is head of product marketing with Stellar Cyber. Stellar Cyber is actually a partner of F5's. We've been working with them for a couple of years at this point, and it's really great because we can take data from F5 devices and feed them to another solution that is able to kind of make sense of everything, all of the other devices out there in the network. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, Steve?
Sure. So what we develop is what's called an open XDR platform. So the whole intent there is that security teams are using tons of different products, lots of F5 products. So what we do is we provide integrations to these products so they can bring all this data together, like you said, make sense of it all. Because I think without having a really good picture of the entire landscape of an attack or even your attack surface, it's really hard to make a good decision on what you should do. So we enjoy working with partners like F5 who have really rich, important data. We can bring it in our platform, and security analysts can then use our automation and some of our AI to help them speed their investigations. Because right now, a lot of analysts are suffering from alert fatigue, or they're having to do a lot of contextualization of data manually, switching from one to another, Excel spreadsheets and things like that. So with our platform, as we bring in all the data, we're really trying to eliminate a lot of that manual work so that they can get to the answer they need faster.
Interesting. So are you finding that with maybe an attack, there's actually not one single place that it's actually being indicated, but you're able to pull from a few things, and maybe it's not necessarily the web application firewall that is going to be the place that is the initial indicator of it?
Absolutely. I mean, attackers today, they're trying to get into these environments in multiple ways. So some signals that you might receive might seem very weak by themselves. But when you start to bring them all together and look at them in a holistic way, then you can identify that maybe there's a larger attack going on. So data from F5 is really important in that, because what we do is as we get new data, whether it's logs or alerts or any sort of information about user activity, we're scoring, we're generating risk scores. So as the risk score increases, it might be a simple log record or some maybe lower priority alert from a device, but when you bring it all together, you realize you're under a multi-vector attack that is really could be problematic. So I think that's really important to bring this data together. So and for one, there's just too many single alerts to try to investigate them manually. That just doesn't scale anymore. That's not possible.
Interesting. So with all of this, a lot of data, a lot of devices, does the platform have to train on some of this stuff to actually get a sense of what's important?
So we use a couple of different ways to identify threats. So we have curated rules that we provide, but the majority of our customers, what they do is they use our AI and ML. So what we do is that we are actually going to be training. We have a UEBA capabilities. So for user behavior, in a couple of weeks, we train on individual users so that we understand what's normal, what's not normal. And then from that, by that, having that baseline, then we can start to identify suspicious activity or anomalous activity. Now, not all anomalous activity is a threat, but you need to have that. So I think that's the other part that a lot of security practitioners today, if they're using a legacy SIEM or some other older technology that really requires them to create the rules, it's a lot to do. It's hard to maintain, and either you might get flooded with alerts, you might get none if your alerts get out of sync. So I think that's where it's really important that security teams of today, you got to marry the skills, the human expertise that you have with the ability to automate through technologies like AI and ML.
Awesome. Okay, AI and ML, we've heard it once already so far. I'm sure we'll hear GPT a number of times this week. Thank you very much, Steve, for chatting with me. Again, we're at the Stellar Cyber booth here at Black Hat 2023. F5 is actually located just down the hall at 2240. We'll be here all week, but otherwise, follow, like, subscribe, check out all the content that we'll have this week. Also, there will be a thread on community.f5.com. I'm going to have some information that I'm going to post up about the partnership. So if you are already a Stellar Cyber customer or you're looking into the solution, you can see how your F5 integrates with that as well. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.